are going to get a large number of people in this boat. That I like, a Dan-sized chair. This is cool. Do you need some excitement back in your life? If the answer is yes, watch this video. Dan Jones is my name. Welcome to the Boat Brokerage. Today we're doing a walkthrough on this beautiful Sunseeker 61 Predator. We've just come back from a really exciting drive, and it just reminds me why these boats have been so popular over the years. It's a 2003 model powered by shaft drive Caterpillars. They're throaty, they're fun, and they're capable. So Torque is this boat's middle name. But anyway, you came for the walkthrough. If you didn't and you want to, or if you want to see a test drive, I should say, follow the link coming up on the screen now. And if you are interested in this boat, just go to the description in the video page and you can go to the link to see the listing page on our website. Starting at the back of the boat, one of the cool things about the Predator range, or this particular style of boat, is that you don't have to put ugly dinghies on the transom or up on the bow or towing behind you, because it has its own custom garage. Once you're getting into a size of boat like this, that's possible. You can have a decent dinghy, and I'll open that in a sec for you to have a look. First thing worth noting, this swim platform is huge. It is a hydraulic drop-down platform. You've got timber slats just in here, so that's going to allow the air to pass through. As you're sitting in a wavy anchorage, the air will go up and down, and it won't cause any disturbance with the platform. This is your fold-out swim ladder just here, and you can go two ways up to enter the boat, but the logical entrance is the starboard, but if you need to get to the port side, up the port decks, you just go up these stairs just here, and that's really just gives you access up the port side of the boat, because you'd need to step over the sun lounge if you were to enter the cockpit from that side. But what are we looking at? We've got a cleat down the aft, and it's got its own little winch. That's for more Mediterranean stern-to mooring. We're not going to use that super commonly in Australia, but maybe. Got your flagpole there, obviously. Shore power connection just here, town water there, hot and cold shower there, and a foot button, press button for the winch just there. It is also worth noting that you've got teak wrapping around here. That's kind of handy when you're docking the boat. So if people are sitting and looking sexy on the sun lounge, as they should, and you are trying to get the fenders out to the port side, this is a logical place. You're still going to have a bit of grip with the teak, and you can walk around and get to that side of the deck if you need to. You've got a couple of mountings here. I don't really know what they are for, but they could have been something to do with launching dinghies in the past. I actually have no idea. The name looks really cool in stainless, and then you can see as you enter 2 steps just to get into the main part of the cockpit, and then you've got courtesy lights and a little, that's not really, I guess that's just kind of discourages people. It's not going to stop any beach balls or anything like that from rolling out when you accelerate. And I'll tell you what, when this thing does accelerate, you know about it. So maybe leave any loose items from rolling down the deck. Just quickly stay there. I want to show you this garage door. So there's a little control panel just here. I've got cockpit lights, garage door, and lifting platform. But you just press down on the safety. I just want you to see, hopefully I'm operating that correctly. And there you go, maybe. Well, you're not going to see that now. Anyway, we'll just keep going. I'll cut to that. It's operated from here. So come on, Nick, come on and jump on board, and we will start walking through this cockpit. So don't fall when you get on board. So this layout is obviously a Mediterranean layout. So people go stern to. Having these aft sun lounges is popular. But you are going to get a large number of people in this boat. So quickly, before we go too far, I'll just point out a couple of things. On the starboard side, as we entered, we have another winch. So you have them matching on port and starboard. But just here, it's not going to be in service, but this is a life raft. Logical place to have it. So if you were in trouble, you can deploy it across the transom. The other thing from an operational perspective, I like seeing this. We've got basically key and all your battery operations. So you can select from ship to shore. So if you're on the shore power, you can disconnect shore power and then switch it off or switch it over for generator when you are going to be out on the sea. And you can turn all the batteries on individually from here as well. So that's very logical and handy. Then when you enter, you can see this particular boat has got, it's all teak cockpit just in here, but we don't have teak on the foredeck. So that's much better from a maintenance perspective. And so you're just going to have the nice teak underfoot for, for grip, and it looks nice, but you don't have the extra maintenance having it out on the side decks. The other thing worth pointing out is the design of this cabin. So it's open where you need to be, but it's practical everywhere else. So the roof finishes here. So these people can sit out here and enjoy themselves on a sunny day. Anyone on the sun lounge can get sun as you'd expect them to. But then forward of that, if you're wanting to sit at the table, work at the barbie, or be at the helm, you can be in shade and get airflow through the boat with the sunroof if you want to crack that open. So we do have little storage lockers, good places for ropes and fenders underneath these seats here. Just under here is access to the engine bay. If you want to see in there, stay to the end of the video and we will show you that. And then here we come into the heart of the cockpit area, and this really is the social zone on this boat. We do have a lovely saloon downstairs, but you're probably going to spend most of your time up here. An electric barbie, which runs off the genset, hot and cold tap just there, and then this turns into a nice prep station. So if you were doing, say, platters, for example, you could prepare them all and then bring them up and place them here. Or if people were doing lunch, you could set up all your food and then people can come serve themselves and sit at the table or sit down there if they want to eat. Talking about the table, 4 people, I reckon. You could do probably 4 settings. 2 people on that side, a couple of people on director's chairs, or 3 sitting around here. Definitely more if you wanted to squash in. There's lots and lots of space to play with. And the other thing about this, once you are in a boat of this volume and this size, people can be doing things like I can be here at the minibar doing stuff and people can be passing behind me. So it's not going to really ruin the whole vibe and how the whole thing works socially. Anyway, what's going on here? That's a little bit of storage. You could put some bins in there for some of your empties. This is an ice maker just there. And we've got a little fridge, drinks fridge just down here. Can't remember if there's storage under this one. No, subwoofer. Subwoofer just there. And that's going to be going down into the cabin below. And then we've got courtesy lights wrapping around. So just come forward and focus on some of the helm here, Nick. I'll quickly talk to you about the passenger seat. We've got a single passenger seat on navigator's spot on port. We've got 2 drink holders, a little well just here for your mobile phone, somewhere to hold on to. And this is actually good old-fashioned charts, so you can put them under there. That plastic will hold them in place. So that's actually what that's designed for. And I've still got some soft furnishing behind me, so it's comfortable to sit like this, which you probably would underway or relaxing, because you can converse with everybody else. Or when you're going fast, you can also sit like this and be comfy. But this is the exciting spot. So I'll let you come around and get that in shot. This boat's a lot of fun to drive. It really does get your heart racing. So I'll just go through everything we find here. If you are somebody who enjoys driving your boat, you will thoroughly enjoy this Predator. Like, it really is an animal. The big cats are controlled from here. So this feels like a digital throttle system. You got neutral, so that just, this button here, you just activates when you fire it up. And acknowledges the helm, and then you can put it into gear, and then you can also put your neutral just there in place as well if you need to use it. But where am I going to start? I'll start down here and work my way around. Just keep that all in general shot, and I can actually cut to some B-roll if we need, Nick. Down at my right hand, I've got a manual release for the Fireboy system, and I've also got a gauge below the helm. I've got the VHF control just below the throttles just here. We've got a Simrad, that's a Simrad Autopilot, that's new, that's been installed just forward of the throttle. The trim tabs forward of that, and the bow thruster forward of that. This is not a boat that needs a lot of bow thruster because it's got so much torque with the propellers. It has an incredible amount of torque. Forward of that, you've got 3 red lights. So that's one letting you know if the platform is lowered, so you probably shouldn't drive. And then bilge pump alarms, essentially, just there. Okay, then we've got a chain counter just here telling us how much chain we have out. We can operate that from one of the buttons here by the looks of it. We have a rudder angle indicator forward of the wheel. It's a Sunseeker wheel, fixed, not adjustable. And below the wheel, we have the key starts and red button off. Forward, we have one of the 2 Simrad screens, which are clearly new, and we have one on port, so you can do different displays. I can see, it looks like there's a radar up the top there as well, so you do chart, radar, depth, etc. off these displays. And then we have the good old-fashioned analog screens or displays for the motors just here. This one in the middle, oh, that's probably Newton meters. That's not speed. So we have revs on either side, and then you have PSI, then you have temperature and volts. So it's your alternators, and I can see 2 tank indicators. One is for water, and one is for fuel. I saw 2 fuel intakes, but they look like they go to a Y valve into the one tank, so you can fuel up on port or starboard on this boat. Now, just here, this little display here, that's so you could scroll up on the display and do English or metric. That's going to be to do with the engine, either here or there for the engines, I would assume. But what I have already used is the low idle button. So when you have it in regular idle, you will idle forward at 7.5 knots. So when I say there's a lot of torque with these props, there's a lot of torque. So you can knock that down a couple of hundred revs and idle at your 5 knots kind of speed. But you really just have to tap this thing in and out of gear to maneuver it in close quarters. And there's so much power, it's actually really fun. That's an engine sync button just there. So each Caterpillar display, this is your engine diagnostics, port and starboard, and that's going to give you all your detailed information that you already have here and more. Fusion control there, that's going to Bluetooth to your phone. So we've got, that looks like anchor, bilge, 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 sounder, lights, lights, horn, windscreen wiper washer, your individual windscreen wiper buttons there, anchor on, off, that's emergency parallel, sunroof, and anchor lights. And it's also worth noting this whole dash forward is dark in colour, so it's not going to ruin your night vision. Let's go down and have a look at the cabin. Okay, so you come down 4 glossy stairs into the saloon with stainless steel inserts, and isn't this lovely? So this is a 2-cabin boat, so we have a lot of usable space down here, and this saloon, it really is massive. This is a whole nother space to hang out or enjoy your weekends from, and really, with the cabins at either side of the boat, you got a lot of separation. So 2 adult couples are going to be super comfortable for a long weekend on a boat like this. And having this full-size galley, you really can do long lunches or full-on, essentially dinner parties on a boat like this, and eat up there or eat down here. But let's just show you what you do have. So starting, I'm just going to start here and work my way all the way down. We have a pantry just in here. We have a dishwasher hiding behind this one here. Then we've got freezer, 3-drawer freezer, and a decent fridge just here. So that's not bad. Got a little entertainment station. You know, it's pretty 2003 vibes, to be fair. A little Samsung and a, I don't even know what that is, some old-fashioned entertainment, Panasonic, whatever. I'm sure Netflix will take over with that. The amount of working space here is epic. It's huge, and you could even put like more bits and pieces behind here. You've got a little blind that comes down and some opening windows there and there. But a lot of this is just pantry. So pantry, just there, and then microwave just here. And then I think it's more pantry once you get into the corner there. We have a 240 volt socket just here, and then as you lift up these, this is how you get access to the sink. So isn't that cool? Like, good use of space, and it's attractive when not in use, so I like that. So we've got a 2-burner. So we've already got the barbie upstairs, but we've got a 2-burner cooker just here with the little backsplash thingamajiggy here. And then this is all enclosed in its own plastic. I guess this is some sort of hard plastic material working space. So you could throw the dirty dishes in here and just get them out of sight and worry about that later. But you've also got the dishwasher as well. So you really are well catered for this situation. And then we'll just move our way along here. So this is where you put your serving platters and your plates. This was the bin from memory. So just a bin thingamajiggy that comes out from there. That's going to have the sink behind it, but then you've got the drawers. And look how that's, it's custom for your cutlery. More drawers just here. This is nice. Backlit drinks cupboard, so that's quite cool. And we saw that just there already. So then we move into the relaxation part of this part of the boat. There's many areas for relaxation. One thing that I like, a Dan-sized chair. This is cool. Quite comfortable, and you can just kind of move it around the boat as you see fit, but that's a nice touch. This table is fixed from what I can tell, because it's got the big wooden leg just here, but you've got multi-use. So if you needed the space to move around, you can fold these two in. It's got this ledge just here, so things won't slide off the table. And if you were using it for dining, you could do more than 4 people here. You could get a few more people around this table if that was what you were looking to do. Oh, is there another function? Oh, look at that. It opens. So storage in the Dan-sized chair. That's cool. So you can put some kiddies' games in there. So this lounge is very comfortable. You can really lounge out on it and be in a good place, but lots of people can sit down here. We've got the TV up there if you wanted to watch it, and there is storage underneath these seats. It's a little bit of fiddling around to pull the cushion up, so I would probably put things like life jackets or longer term items that I don't need to get to readily underneath these seats, but that's what they can be used for. And it really is a comfortable, nice space. You've got a bit of view out the windows through those, view out to the sea through these windows and those windows. But to be fair, you're probably going to be spending more time up on deck on a style of boat like this. Just while we're here, a little bit more storage, as you can see, kids' games in here, reading light, air conditioning vent just out there, and this is your 240 and 12 volt panels just here. So we've got the batteries accessible as we enter the boat. So this side is going to be 12 volt DC, this side is 240 AC, and we've got the genset operation from down here as well. So we've got shore power, genset, and then alternators, so multiple power generation sources. So I think I've covered everything. Plenty of downlights and even some nice little touches like this roof detail here, opening hatch just for ventilation here and above the galley. So in terms of getting fresh air flow through this area if you're cooking, you've got the 2 roof hatches and the 4 ports, so you can get plenty of air through and out of this area, but it's also air conditioned as well. And the carpet, as you walk around, it's clearly got a rubber base underneath it because it's quite soft underfoot, which is nice. It also retains its temperature pretty consistently. So all the high gloss timber is in good nick as we walk around. We've kind of inspected it in a bit of detail. You do see, which is something you see on Sunseekers and Princesses to be fair, this felt covering, in some areas it's lifting. That is something you do see on boats of this age. It is what it is. Can be fixed. Nice little touch there. So come into the VIP. So this is an island double queen, I guess. You can sit up in bed just here. You've got a couple of reading lights on either side. We've got 2 opening ports, an escape hatch, which is also good for ventilation. That one hinges facing aft, so it's not going to suck air down, but you might create a little bit of a vortice. And you do have air conditioning through this vent just here. On either side, 1, 2, 3 areas that you can open up. These little cupboards just here, great for t-shirts, shorts. You roll everything up. Everybody's got a side that they can utilise. Then we've got a locker each on either side for hanging items. And then there's 2 drawers under the bed, which is good for extra blankets and stuff like that. And then you also have a larger locker on this side behind this mirror, and that's also a full stand-up mirror. TV just there, and I think I mentioned the air conditioning control there. So Nick, come in here and we'll have a look at... So this is... So you can hear the extraction fan going on. This is the VIP head. So it's a vacuum flush toilet, so that's no smell compared to the macerators. It just sucks everything out, and then it refills with fresh water, which is good. We do have an aircon outlet in here, so this area can be vented in that way, but you can also operate, well, you can also just open the port here is what I'm trying to say. Decent amount of space. Just here, we've got a little opening cupboard just there, which is good for toilet papers. Each of you can put your toiletries bags and have spare towels rolled up because you each have a cupboard, one on either side with 2 doors, and there is this blind here for privacy if you're worried about that. And you've got your own, quite a fancy stand-up shower. I'll stand in there for reference. Plenty of space for moving around. This shower head will go up and down, and it's even got these jets, which is very late 1990s, but quite cool, and I think I would enjoy that. So let's go down and check out the aft end of the boat. So follow me. So coming down this way, I'll just quickly point out you can get into the bilge, and that is like over a metre down to the bottom of the boat, which immediately tells me there's a lot of V section underneath the waterline. I already knew that because I've seen the boat out of the water. But when you've got that much distance from the floor to the keel, it just tells you a thing or two about the hull design. So this is going to be the day head. So this is for essentially the guests, but it's also private access to the master as well. So it's got a dual function. More space in this one, timber floor, vacuum flush head. Again, you've got this timber lining around here, same blinds. We've got his and hers opening on either side with the mirror. Quite a large stand-up shower. It feels like it's a little bit bigger than the other one with those cool jets as well. 2 storage cupboards underneath here. Your holding tank indicator, toilet brush, toothbrush holders, everything you need. And this is like a marbly vibe just here. So this is the day head access, and this is the private access door from the master cabin. So what we'll do, I think we'll go through this door and we'll go check out the master. Okay. So, welcome to the master. So this is the main entrance, and that's that door I was talking about. You come down 1-2 steps, aircon, outlet, lights, and air conditioning operation just there. Large storage locker here with a full stand-up mirror. And then you come down the starboard side. So we're full beam. Another Dan-sized chair. I like seeing that. But you come down, it's full beam, and it's very spacious. Like, this is why you go for a boat of this size. Use the joystick if you need to angle that camera up there, Nick. So a lot of people ask me, how does the boat sound with the generator on? And I don't know whether you have picked up or not. This whole walkthrough, as we've been downstairs, we've actually had the generator on. So it's on right now. The master cabin is the closest cabin to the engine bay, and that's the noise level. So it's pretty manageable. So if you're in Queensland, or if you're somewhere where you're going to need to leave it running for, a majority of the night or all of the night to run your air conditioning, can do, in my personal opinion. Okay, if you're really sensitive to every noise, then not so, but it's not too intrusive. So, makes life livable. Anyway, we got single opening ports on either side, so we can still get some natural ventilation. 1, 2, 3, 4 drawers here. Little bedside table with a drawer underneath me. Quite a lot of space here as well. And I'm actually going to stand up. So I'm 5'7". I've got a few inches above my head here. But this area here, it comes down above the bed, maybe 30 centimetres. But it's all padded, so you're not going to hurt yourself if you're bumping into things. And the other thing is, the bed base as well, everywhere is padded and all rounded edges everywhere. So it's all quite safe and comfortable. If you were wanting to sit up in bed, I can. So you got a reading light here. You could come down here and read and relax. You got some down lights as well. And the bed, it's actually quite comfortable. Like plenty of space. This is a nice, big, luxurious bed. And then I think this side here is probably for the ladies, because we've got another bedside table on this side as well. But I see what looks like a makeup area, which I'm going to get to in a second. But before I do, this is a deep storage locker in here. That's good for what it's got throw cushions in it right now, so that kind of makes sense. If you've got the bed dressed with all your throw cushions, just throw them in here for the evening. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 drawers. So decent drawers. Both of you can have a side, and you've got 4 drawers each for your clothes, which is kind of cool. So I see, so Nick, why don't you come around and we'll try and show this as much as possible. I see this as a multi-use area. So if you were, say, spending a week on the boat and, you know, you just needed someone to get away. If you had young kids, for example, and you just wanted to go down and have a place to go down and check your emails and do, you know, you shouldn't be working too much, you're on a boat, but do a little bit of work. This could be somewhere to do that. You could just have your power just there for your laptop, could come down, just have a little bit of quiet time, do your emails, and then get back to enjoying yourself. But it is essentially a makeup area. We've got some extra down lights here. You've got the little seat here. We've got this fancy drawer with felt lining, which I assume is for ladies' stuff. And then you've got storage behind each, behind this one and that one. I think that's fixed. So that's quite functional. Got a TV there, and that's not all. Washing machine. So you really can spend a bit of time on this boat. Let's go check out the engine room and the bow. Okay, so welcome to the engine bay. We are back in the cockpit. You just open up this hatch. It's insulated and you go down 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. It's pretty tight, so Nick's going to pass me the camera. I'm going to take you down with me because you go down this area here. Let's let that camera adjust. And then you actually get more space because, oops, sorry, not the camera, because you're on this platform just here, and then you can step down to get more space. So I'm just going to start, basically try and work my way around from starboard to port. These big Caterpillars are V-drive shaft. I think I accidentally said straight shaft earlier in the video. I am wrong. They are quite clearly V-drive shaft. And you can see your raw water pickups just there. And then I can see my big hot water tank just there. And looking at the back of the boat, all sorts of stuff going on from steering to bilge systems, just at the, oops, sorry, go down, stern. And what you were looking at just then is the base of the dinghy garage. There is a engine room camera just all the way at the back looking forward, and that'll be viewable through the Simrad screens. This is our Onan genset just there. And then we come around and we can see over behind the genset, you can see some of the hydraulics for the platform. Now I'm looking at the port motor. And behind that, I just want you to see how big these beautiful big exhausts are. Check that out. So these things at the dock sound exquisite. It's just so nice to listen to them. Now, the other thing worth pointing out, there's your fuel filters just there. And see the Y valve for the fuel fillers? So they both come in from port and starboard, and it appears that they go into a central point. So I'm assuming from that it's a single tank, and then 2 fill-up points is what we have on this boat. A few more AC and DC breakers just on the panel there. And look, there's enough space to get around because once you go down this ledge, there is a lot more workable space. It is going to be hot if the engine's been running, so get used to it or pay someone. Yeah, that's what boats is all about. Okay, so we'll just focus on some of the items we've got up here on the roof first. I can see, is that a camera? Yeah, looks like we've got an aft-facing camera. A couple of domes here. So these would be for communications, but you generally have one operational, one fake, so they look cool. You've got an air horn just there. We've got a full-on Simrad radar there. You've got your navigation, so you're all round, and your navigation lights on the mast there as well, and a VHF aerial poking out. So Nick, why don't you come forward? You do see the navigation lights built into the design just here. This is the operational roof, so that's electrically operated. And then you see touches of wrapped carbon, which is just part of the design. But then you get up here into this awesome bow area, and once again, like, I feel like you could land a chopper on this. It's massive. Stay there, Nick, to put all this into perspective. Like, you could play a game of soccer up here. This is absolutely epic. But you've got that sun lounge just there. I can see the 3-piece windscreen with the individual wipers, some little drinks holders next to the sun lounge. The two opening hatches. That's the one over the galley. That's the one over the saloon. This is the opening hatch over the VIP. And then just safety rail all the way around, stylish as you would expect. And it's worth noting that the design of the bow dips down a little bit. So if you haven't seen the test drive video, follow the link and go and have a look. But the bow doesn't raise too much on acceleration. So even a short bloke like me can sit down at the helm, look and feel cool, and see where you're going, which is kind of handy. So just up here, come forward and we'll just focus in a little bit more detail. All good, solid stainless steel gear. So couple of cleats just there, and you can see your leads just here for your rope. So you've got good securing there to the dock. Got a big Maxwell winch and a stainless steel anchor which goes to gal chain. You can operate it from the helm or from these buttons just here. Quite a deep anchor locker, separated in two with the chain forward. We've got a wash down, and then this is a good place for fender storage. Reason being, you can put them in there and then you can tie the fender line to this stainless steel just here, which will then make it easy for you to access it when you need to. Now, like all boats, it's not perfect. It's a 2003 model. A couple of things that we noted on our way around the decks. A couple of gel coat blisters just on the cabin top and down near the transom. So, you know, it is what it is. Few little minor bits and pieces down in the interior just showing their age. On a whole though, for a boat that's nearing 20 years of age, she's hot. Like, she's hot. She's operational, she's usable right now, and she's enjoyable right now. If you're really, really finicky, yes, you're gonna find little bits and pieces here and there, as you would on any boat. Anyway, my name's Dan Jones. This has been The Boat Brokerage. I hope you learnt something about this boat, and if you really are interested, follow the link in the description below, and look forward to talking to you. Thanks very much.